Hi guys, good day to all. I'm Abdullah from TechEnd STEM. In today's video, we'll be talking about our last class. What we're talking about last class, but we are in number 3 of our line, and we're talking about direction. So now I was trying to write in something here before our last session end. So now this is what I want to write: hello world, hello world. So now let me put this direction in default, so we'll be able to understand the case study we have here. I'm trying to let me delete this. Yes. So now so far it's written. Let me reload. So now this is the way we write our English language from the left to the right side. But now when we change the direction, from when we change the direction, let me reload it. When we change the direction once again, it's going to be in this side. It's going to be in the right side. So now let's change the direction. So when you want to change your direction, it will always be in line 3. So now dir, I mean line 2, but because we have a comment with we have it in line 3. So now this auto is for automatic, left to right is what is already there, and right now right to left. Let's click on right to left. Let's see what we have. Can you see now that our hello word was able to disappear from this amp here, and here we have it, hello word, hello word. So now that's what we have. That's the direction if you want to write yours as that, but it's not really necessary because most people do not really know it. So now let's get you started. We have head. So now here, just the way we have a letter, where we'll have a letter embedded in an envelope. When you have a letter embedded in an envelope, when you open it, you always see from where it's written. Okay, number 4, blah blah blah, for new USA word. You have it like that. That's an address. But now you're going to see the heading. Okay, dear sir, dear parents, dear mommy, my dearest daughter, things like that. So now you have someone that, okay, this is the head though. This person, the person is greeting me. We have the body of the letter. We say, okay, the person, my child will not is going to write me that, sir, the purpose of me writing you this letter is to enroll for my coding class. You just be okay, this person has greeted me, and the other thing he do was to tell me the purpose of writing this letter. So now before moving into our, this is the head, we have to do the head, which is also known as greeting in letter. So now this meta is for web's description. It's usually written as meta. So now we have this chart set. So now this chart is character set. For this UTF, yes, for this UTF are more of like an encoding word, encoding program, in which people use. So now we have UTF-8. So now we have something in our junior class, we have it in our computer science class or computer study. We have it to be a byte equal to this amount of bits, a megabyte equal to this, a gigabyte equals to this, a terabyte equals to this, and more of it. So now the way this machine process it is on 8, so it's on bytes, so you are able to process a byte at once. So now we have the second one we have on our line 6. So we have HTTP. HTTP means hypertext protocol. So when you're visiting a website and you're seeing HTTP, you're going to see something like caution. That means that the website is not secure. But when you have it to be https, that means your website is said to be secured. So now http is equivalent to xua and compatible with. So now anytime you want to open this code, it is compatible with what? It's compatible with any browser. And so now what the content you've written here, and what can read it is IE. This IE is called Internet Explorer. This is always default and come with your browser. Internet Explorer, the Internet Explorer that they want it to read is called Edge. So you can have something like Safari. Safari. So now you only wrote it for Safari. You only write the code to be viewed on Safari. You have it for Chrome. You only wrote it to be on Chrome. So that's what we have. So now for the number 7, meta name of viewport and content. You want your content to be width equal to device width. You want it to take the whole width. When we talk about width, we have width and we have height. You want it to take the whole width of the device you are writing it with. You want it to take the width, and the initial scale here is 1.0. The initial scale, you just want it to be, there is no, you are not using any scale. The initial scale you have here is 1.0. So now let's move to document. So now I am Abdullah Babatunde from Tech and System. So now what can my title be? I am a man, so I have it to be Mr. Mr. I can be behind Mr. to parent, and to my student I can be they can call me master. So now that is my title. That's what my title is. So now when you title, for now we have title to be document. Let's go and look it in our let's go and view it in our browser. Let's go and view it in our browser. Okay, we open it now in a new tab. We're waiting for it to load up. Okay, before that, document is title is what is your web page is going to show. Now let's take this title to let's change the title to second second tech and class. Hope you're getting it. Yes. So now let's look in here and see what we'll be able to write. Let's maximize it. We have hello world, and now when we check this title, we have it to be second tech end class. So that is what we have. So now let's change it. We can change it to anything you want your website to be. So now let me write something as long as it can be Nigeria flag. Now let's check it in our browser. Nigeria. So it's going to be reading it bit by bit. Let's reload it. I wrote Nigeria flag, so I have it. Can you see? I have Nigeria. Uh, uh, it's going to be processed bit by bit. So now I have Nigeria flag. So now let's continue up with our code with the explanation. So that is title. So now you've been able to close this head. Our head starts from number 4 to number 9. Our head starts from number 2 to number 3 to number 8. So now there's something we called, let me make a comment again. So I have the comment of head stop here. Head stop here. So now this is going to tell you that okay, now the head of this HTML document is stop here. So now what we have. So now let's talk about something called tag. Hmm? Let's take it that HTML is a house. HTML is a house. Then when we have HTML to be a house, what are the tags going to be? And the tags are rooms. So now for the tags, we have two type of tag. We have two type of tag, and the two tag are we have opening and closing tag, and also we have self closing tag. So for this opening and closing tag, these are the type of tag whereby they are opened and they are closed. This is more of like our foldable Samsung, whereby you open it and you close this back. Our laptop, you open the surface and you're able to close this back. Our door, you open it and you're able to close it. But what about doors, like automated doors that will just close themselves without just on use on them sensing that this is a person, they will be able to open it, and on them sensing that the person is absent, they will be able to off it back. They'll be able to close the door. So you have opening and closing tag. For us to know that a tag is opening and for us to know a tag is closed, so there's something like this. There's something called forward splash. So we have it now. This title here, this title, the title is an opening tag, and the title at here is a closing tag. Is a closing tag. You can see this splash. So now let me remove this splash. Now it might not be able to read it properly, so you have to put your splash there. Sorry, I have to put splash there, so you'll be able to read. Oh, that was a mistake. So now you'll be able to read that this is a title. So now for this head, let me cancel this splash. So now it will not be able to read it as much as possible. It won't be able to read it as much as possible. So now this is what we have h1 in the tag. So now an h1 is said to be an opening and closing tag. Now there is a research that comes out which says that 80% of tags in HTML are said to be opening and closing tag, while the remaining are said to be closing tag. So example of opening and closing tag, we have h1, our headings, h1, h2, h3, up to h6. Yes, up to h6. And after that, we have another opening and closing tag, which is the p. So now let's start writing it. Can you see that this our h1 here is closed? Let me maximize the screen. So now this is our h1. For h1, our h1 starts, we have hello world, and so now for anything you want your web to display, it has to be before the closing tag. It has to be before the closing tag. So now this is what we have here. So now there's still another tag. We said p. Sorry, we said p. So now when you click on this first code is very good for you. So now we have p. This p is a paragraph. So now I click on p. It's able to auto complete it for me. It was able to close it completely for me. So that is another example of opening and closing tag. Then after that we have some other closing opening and closing tag too. So like let's write test area is open here, and also it is closed. Yes, we have multiple of them. So now let's talk about on self closing tag. Self self closing tags. So self closing tag, we have one, we have br. Let me write br is for break. Can you see that it doesn't close itself? That's just the only tags it come with. It do not have a brother, neither does it have a sister. So we have br, which is said to be break. After that we have input. Input, can you see that this is just the way input to stop? We have it for video on image. When you click on it, you see that it doesn't have any splash. We have it after the image. We have it for videos. This video is said to be closing. Yes, but when you write your video to be like this, it doesn't really works most of the time. So by our next class we'll continue. Thanks for your time, and God bless.